Sunday afternoon, sunshine all day, clear skies, but the winds may be a factor, and we'll talk about that as the afternoon progresses here on the River Boulevard. First, the mixed team bronze medal match, China versus Mexico, and China out first. China, of course, the hometown favorite, scoring a 5-1 win over North Korea earlier this week in the 1/8 round, then a 3-set win over Chinese Taipei in the quarters before losing to South Korea in the semifinals 6-2. All those sets, though, were decided by 3 or less. Jueman and Xuesong, 21 and 22 years old respectively, representing the People's Republic of China here in Shanghai. Now the Mexican team making its entrance, Mexico. Coming off a 6-0 win over India, defeating Deepika Kumari and Jayanta Tulukdar. Then had a 5-3 win over the USA in the quarterfinals. That was Brady Ellison and Katuna Lorig who went down. And then it was Japan defeating Mexico in the semifinals 5-3. So Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano tried to salvage this week with a bronze medal here today against China, and obviously China, the hometown favorite. The fans all pulling for them, Matt.
Yeah, certainly. It'll be a big stage for the Chinese archers. They're relatively new on the national team, but the Mexican team of Serrano and Aida, so experienced in these situations. We see them time and time again in the match play finals, so we should really see them take it out early, just with their experience.
So Mexico will be on target number 2. Mexico, the team closest to the camera, and stepping up to start the match, Juan Rene Serrano, 31 years old, has been ranked as high as 4th in the world.
Well, it's interesting. The windsocks here are flapping about. The archers have got an opportunity to practice beforehand, but a left 7, certainly not what the Mexican team wanted.
So now the 27-year-old Aida Roman with a little bit better shot. That's a 9. And all the archers having to contend with the winds, which have been gusting at times here today. So Mexico starting off with a 7 and a 9. China responds with a 9. And takes the lead.
It's certainly a good start for the Chinese team. Just getting a feel for the wind out here on their opening arrows.
Back to Serrano for his second shot. And he tried to compensate over correct.
Yeah, I think that first arrow certainly gave him some issues, and it's a very hard decision on where to aim next. Let's hopefully Aida can consolidate and shoot a 10.
The World Cup gold medalist from Lausanne in 2014, right on target. Brilliant shot by Aida. And China did have an excellent chance of taking this set. That makes things more interesting.
Obviously, some tension amongst the archer in front of her home crowd.
They need at least a 9. They get the 9, so they tie it up. As Xuesong comes through with a 9 that ties it up, and they'll split the set.
Exactly. So each team now will be rewarded with 1 set point. Again, the Mexicans started very slowly, but the Chinese had an opportunity to close out the set, and unfortunately just a bit of tension, and yeah, one straightwood arrow landing in the 6th ring could have been, but they split the set. So now we go into the next set, and it's still anyone's game.
Matt, if you're Juan Rene Serrano right now, after shooting those first 2 shots, what are you thinking?
Well, I think he's certainly feeling a little bit more comfortable now that they've split the set, because they probably should have lost the set. And hopefully now he's been able to shoot 2 arrows, get a feel for the win, and you know, with Aida being able to shoot a 10 and a 9, she can give him some confidence, give him an indication on where to aim for his next arrow. So,
were you in his shoes, where would you be aiming now on that next shot?
I'd probably be I'd be going for a feeling on the first shot. So he went left 7. I'd probably be aiming, you know, 3 o'clock 8 and making a strong shot. He's closest to the river on target 2, so there's probably more wind coming off the river.
From 70 meters away, Juan Rene Serrano, who's appeared in 3 Olympiads. Much better shot that time.
Yeah, that's a very good result after his 2 7s that he started with. Looks like a 6 on the left there.
Yeah, as the camera pulls out, it is indeed a 6. That will leave Aida feeling about as blue as that ring. Her first 2 shots were strong and solid. That one wide to the left, but this one in the 9 ring for Xueman. Now the 21-year-old Xuesong, ranked 64th in the world, just outside that 9 ring. But China moving ahead by 3. Of course, they had the lead in the first set as well. And Mexico was able to come back to tie it up and gain a split. In, out.
I'll call it a 9. Yeah, he's clipped a 9 there. You can certainly see a bit of tension in the Mexicans' front arm. They're obviously trying to aim very hard, but in these conditions, you just need to aim easy and have a good execution.
Right on that line.
Whether it's enough, that 5 might have cost them the set, but we'll wait and see.
22 years old, Xueman, ranked 37th in the world inside the 10 ring.
A 6 or better will close out the set.
Pretty much like a 2-foot putt.
Pretty much.
You would think.
But
those have been missed in the past too, but not this time. Xuesong comes through and comes up with a 9 that secures the set for the Chinese team. So China will pick up 2 points and go ahead 3-1 in the match. We were tied at 1-1 after the first set. Now China with the lead. And China trying to secure the first medal of this first stage here in Shanghai. In fact, these, I believe, will be the only Chinese archers we see here this afternoon.
yeah, it certainly has put a lot of pressure on the Chinese archers, being the only medal match that they participate in today. So hopefully, you know, for them, they want to get a bronze medal at least. But with the Mexican archers, they started slowly, but things can turn very quickly in this format.
Somewhat of a double-edged sword. When you're competing at home, it's great to be in your home country, have the fan support, but then there's the expectations, and with the expectations, added pressure.
Exactly, and it's how the archer, you know, prepares themselves. You know, everybody's come out here to support them. They don't want to see them fail. They want to see them succeed. So they should be, you know, in a good environment, an environment that they can perform to their best.
Little pep talk from Aida for Juan Rene Serrano, as they try to come back and tie this match up. But they'll have to win this set. And Serrano spears another 9. Juan Rene won the mixed team silver medal last year here at this stage. Now trying to go for the bronze. Pair of 9s.
Much quicker shot than by Aida. I think that's what we saw in the first few sets. Just trying to aim too hard in these windy conditions.
Quick release by Jueman, who captured a team silver medal in Colombia last year and a team bronze medal in Poland.
Got a nice little pocket of arrow holes up there in the top right-hand corner of the 9 ring. But at the moment, 9 is good enough.
Tied at 18 here in the third set. Juan Rene releases a 10. Now the silver medalist from the London Games in 2012. Close, but not quite in the 10 ring, but good enough to put a lot of pressure on the Chinese duo.
Well, certainly the Chinese now have to shoot 2 10s to take out the match. Anything less and it'll tie the set.
So there's the 9 they need.
So a 10 to tie the set.
And split. But it would keep the match going. Anything less than 10, and it is less than 10.
So we're going to 3-all draw at the moment.
Mexico takes the third set.
This format can change so quickly. You know, we thought the Mexican team were down and out, but 4 good shots and all of a sudden they're back in the game.
Right back in it. And both of those archers are so experienced, they know that.
Exactly, and that's got to give them some confidence. You know, they struggled initially in the first few arrows, but now they've found their mark. They know where to aim. They've got a feel for the conditions. And now, well, the Chinese are probably second-guessing themselves. They had the opportunity to close out the match, and now they're back where we started. We're 3-all.
It was tied 1-all after the first set. China took a 3-1 lead after the second set, and now we're tied at 3-all after 3 sets, so anybody's match at this point. Of course, the experience, well, on paper, you'd have to go with Mexico. The 2 Chinese archers in their early 20s. Aida Roman has been competing since 2006, only 27 years old, but she's a veteran. And she's also an Olympic medalist.
Exactly. She's a great competitor to have on your team. She often outshoots the men. And, you know, Rene would be feeling a huge amount of confidence in her. But given the wind conditions, get a small gust of wind could change the result from a 10 to a 9. Let's see how the Mexican team can go.
Serrano to take the first shot here in the fourth set. Grimaces, and you can see why.
Yeah, unfortunately, 6 is really not going to put pressure on the Chinese team. You can see a little bit of tension, just slight shake in his body as he's trying to line up for the shot.
Aida has to put that shot out of her mind, focus on this shot. Comes through with a 9 that's on the line. Mexico may be at the mercy of China right now.
See how the Chinese respond to the 6 that was delivered.
Trying to hold it steady. You can see her bow arm was wavering a little bit.
Both countries want to win this bronze medal. Unfortunately, on this stage, the harder you aim, the more difficult it is to execute a shot.
Quick release. Well done by the Chinese archer, Xuesong.
That's certainly set them up now. There's 2 arrows remaining, so less than a miracle.
That will keep hope alive. Especially if Aida Roman can come through with a 10. She took a bronze medal home from Shanghai last year here in the mixed team competition, and look at that. That's the 10 they absolutely had to have.
Oh, exactly. Again, it's proven how consistent and what such a good archer she is in the conditions to deliver a 10 on her last arrow.
So mentally strong. Juan.
Going to call that a 7.
So I think that's a 7 too. And so it ain't over till it's over.
Exactly.
China needs a 10 to win. A 9 will tie it. And it's a 9, so Mexico, whew, they breathe a sigh of relief.
Exactly, they've been given a second chance. They certainly had the opportunity, the Chinese, to close the match out. Again, just a little bit of tension, over-aiming, and shooting a low 7 has given the Mexicans yet another chance. So, again, they've just proving that this format, it's never over.
Aida Roman getting her teammate Juan Rene Serrano psyched up for this shoot-off. They're tied at 4 after 4 sets. And China forced into the shoot-off after missing a couple of opportunities to put this match away.
So it's been confirmed by the judges. It's a tie break. So the format will be each archer will shoot 1 arrow. If the scores are still tied after 2 arrows, then the closest arrow to the middle of the target out of each team will be awarded the bronze medal.
Some words of advice from Aida Roman.
Venga. Un poquito más arriba.
Juan Rene Serrano trying to hold it steady.
Sigue, sigue. Sigue. 9 a las 4.
Not bad.
9, it's good enough. I think you see that tension in his front arm. Given the circumstances of a 1 arrow shoot off, I think 9 is good enough.
Ms. Zhu cannot come through with anything better than an 8. Or excuse me, 7. So right now China's behind the 8 ball.
Exactly, and you can see the sponsored flags behind her, just you know, increasing with the wind speed.
Roman with another 9. And that will do it. No matter what Xuesong does with this shot right here, it will not be enough. Despite the 10, they're going to come up 1 point short, and that is it. It's over. And Mexico dodges more than 1 bullet, I would say, Matt.
Exactly, and I mean, that's the exciting part about the format that we have, is the Mexicans just fought and fought and fought, and just with a little bit of luck, they're able to take the bronze medal in a tiebreak.
So perseverance by the Mexican team. Aida Roman and Juan Rene Serrano, high fives and a big hug and a sigh of relief.
They started slowly in the match, but you know, the Chinese had an opportunity on 2 occasions to close the match out. But given a little bit of tension and the conditions, unfortunately the home crowd weren't able to bring them home to win the bronze medal.
So there you see the scores. It was tied 1-1 after the first set. China led 3-1 after the second. Mexico came back, tied it up in the third at 3-3.